United Nations Volunteers, or rather we call UNV. Today we are going to explore and share the opportunity of one person becoming United Nations volunteer, and in detail how this is a very wonderful opportunity for every person. So you need to know what are the requirements for one person to become a United Nations volunteers, and do you meet those requirements? What are the benefits for someone to become a United Nations volunteers? And most importantly, will be about how are you going to excel your career if you want to go abroad to learn different cultures. This will be able to help you to excel, reach your dreams. I know there are so many people, especially in developing countries in Africa, Asia, Latin America, people who are just graduating around this time, and they are looking for jobs, but sometimes people are looking for jobs 2 to 3 years and they don't get jobs. But with United Nations volunteers, not only you get the opportunity to work and help others in need, but most importantly, you are going to be paid for that. Though for them, they don't call payment as a salary, it is allowance, but that allowance is more than the job for many people in developing countries if you are going to get. Welcome, everyone. This is EBM Ernest Boniface Makulilo talking to you from my home office here in Belton, Missouri. And this is EBM Scholars, the headquarters of opportunities, where we are going to talk about opportunities. And today, how are you going to become the United Nations volunteers? And how are you going to help the world? And how yourself also you are going to be among the people to benefit from this opportunity. Stay with me up to the end of this particular presentation and make sure you are going to share this video, but don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so. So first and foremost, who are these volunteers? When we are talking about the United Nations volunteers, how do you become a volunteer? And I'm calling for you today to become a United Nations volunteer. People get paid up to 2,000, 3,000 per month, and you are working in developing countries. That is a lot more than the job is what you call your career. So it is better to become a volunteer if I were in your position. So United Nations volunteers, these are people coming from dozens of professional backgrounds, but all of them are acting as a catalyst of positive change. And this can be in your own country or outside your country. But today I'll be focusing more to become the United Nations volunteer outside your country, so which we call international United Nations volunteer, how you are going to go outside your country. So they are encouraged to be creative and to be entrepreneur and foster volunteerism for peace and development, both within and beyond their assignment. They work at the heart of their communities or the communities they're going to work in the areas where the United Nations is operating. So one of the things is I've been talking at the beginning is being the United Nations volunteer is not a career, but it will help you to develop your career. That means you are currently limited to 4 years. So the maximum number of years you can become a United Nations volunteer is 4 years. But when we talk, when we go to the opportunities, you'll be able to see some of the opportunities. As a volunteer, you are going to be going there and work maybe for maybe it can be for 6 months, 12 months, or 2 years, and they will tell you it is open for extension. But what they are saying, you cannot go to be volunteer for the next 50 years. You are just a volunteer. No, it is currently limited for 4 years. but it is rich with opportunities and experience and offers huge personal rewards. So you can have the opportunity down the road to be able yourself to develop or to grow, to get other opportunities beyond that one. So when we talk about this one, so be aware of this opportunity ahead of yourself, that it will help you in one way or another to go and excel, and especially for people from developing countries, this will be huge. And I've used the photo of the woman who is old. I know you might be surprised, because one of the questions you might have, what is the age? You see, the person I put there is very old. And I will tell you when we are going to the eligibility, and one of the things will be about your age. Yeah, you can be that old and be a volunteer. So the United Nations volunteers average, they are almost volunteers over almost 800,000. I mean, 8,000 volunteers each year. And this can be in national, that means domestic in your own country, but also it can be as international, with 80% of those volunteers coming from developing countries. So remember, that's why I'm saying I'm focusing this one for more people from developing countries, because 80% of the volunteers are coming from developing countries, and the 30% are volunteering within their own country. So a majority of people who are going to volunteer from developing countries, over 50% of people from developing countries, they are going to do what we call the international volunteers. So these volunteers, they, as I said, they can work even in the local elections, national elections, can support peacekeeping missions, humanitarian projects, development projects, all those kind of things. I believe you are one among people who can be able to have that diverse cross-section of volunteers, like what the UNV is looking for. So they look for diverse people with different background, but all people who are inspirational in their action. So you can be able to join the remarkable group of people to become one among the UNV or UN volunteers. So those are the things you needed to pay attention. So these are just giving you some pictures of people who are volunteers. And when you become a UN volunteer, you need to know, so what program and where are you going to volunteer? So that's why I've been able to mention that you can volunteer both in your own country and outside your country. You can be able to do that. But majority of the opportunities are international volunteering, which I will be able to explain in a few minutes to come. If you volunteer in your own, so I'm going to give just one of the certificate. This is for UN people volunteering in their own country, so you can get the certificate, volunteering in your own country, and so forth. Okay, so are you eligible to be among the people who can be able to become the volunteers? So in order to volunteer, you must ask yourself the following questions. Or rather, these are the requirements for you to be able to have or to become the United Nations volunteer. As I mentioned over and over, that the issue of age, but the first question is education. You must have at least a bachelor's degree. So don't say, they say bachelor's degree or a diploma of higher education. So remember, sometimes when we say diploma, we also mean the certificate of completion, but of higher education. So most of these, there will be bachelor's degree, masters in most cases. But yes, some diploma, it depends on the nature of the program itself. Each program will be having their own requirements, but that will be, at least you need to have a bachelor degree to have more chances of becoming a volunteer. Number two, you must speak the working language of the United Nations. So when they announce the job, they will tell you if that job. So for instance, if you are going to volunteer maybe in Guatemala, obviously you must be able to speak Spanish. But if the country has English and Swahili or English and another language, So you'll be able to do that. So they'll tell you the primary language of that particular opportunity, which you'll be able to talk, and I'll be able to show you. So is it important for you to work in spirit of partnership and solidarity? Are you motivated and dedicated to volunteerism? So it's not just like, do you want to help and be able to be a positive global change? Are you reliable? Are you available for a short-term assignment? Because most of the short-term assignments are 6 months to 12 months. So you must be available, because if you accept the position and down in the middle of it you cancel, I will tell you, because there are certain costs they pay you to relocate to another country. So there are certain things, if you don't finish, you have to reimburse a certain amount of money. So obviously you must have that commitment and the availability for you to the contract. You have been able to do that. Are you ready to serve in hardship location? So remember, when they say the United Nations, you are not going to be working in New York into the office at New York. Most of cases you are going to work in the field. So that's why they say UNV supplies 25% of all international civilian UN peacekeeping personnel, and the most of those one, and 17% of those UNHCR field personnel are UNV people. So you have to be able to do that one. If you meet those kind of, if you think that you have those one, you'll be able to be part of the to become the UNV or United Nations volunteer. So the spirit of volunteerism is very, very good. Always you need to have it, because when we talk later, we'll be able to talk about the online volunteering and the actual physical volunteering. You can be able to look about all those opportunities for people to be able to volunteer. So the key benefit about this one, majority of people, they are doing this one for satisfaction to become volunteer. But let's be honest, because if you're a developing country, the amount they give, even if they don't say salary, is more than the salary you are going to get in many jobs. And I said this today, I'm going to focus more on the international United Nations volunteers. So international volunteers, these one are going to volunteer outside their own countries in the areas of mostly of development and the humanitarian programs. So what are the benefits? So I've said, like, one of the big benefits is that satisfaction. People want to see that they have been able to contribute on the greater good of this planet Earth. But deep down, we know that there are monthly stipend you are going to be given. So what they call, there is also the limited financial benefits. I don't know. For Western part, we say limited, but trust me, it's not limited. When I talk in African or developing countries, cost of living and the salaries, we'll be able to talk. I will give the example exactly, breakdown of one exactly how much do they give, and you can do the calculation and you tell me whether that one is a small financial benefit. So that financial benefit, they include what is called a monthly volunteering living allowance. Obviously, they also give the place to stay and other things. Sometimes they don't give, depending on the nature of the living conditions. You are going also to be given the annual leave. You are going to be given the medical insurance, and you'll be talking other benefits which you will be able to get them. So this is the part where I know many of you are interested and here to know more. What are the benefits, and how can I be in a position to excel or to benefit from this one? So this is the part where I say I have to talk more about the just overall the benefits, so that you can be able to see if you can benefit on your end, because it will depend one person to another person if you are going to be able to benefit. So these are some of the benefits. So they say, as a United Nations volunteer, you will receive a Volunteer Living Allowance, VLL, which covers the basic needs. It will cover housing and utilities. Utilities here, we mean gas, cooking gas, or the electricity, those kind of smaller things, internet, blah, 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 water, all those kind of things, you'll be able to cover them. Additional, United Nations volunteers will provide a settling grant. I will be talking about settling grant. It's just, when we talk about settling grant, I will talk about it later. It's just like, for instance, you are in Meru, Kenya, and your assignment is to go in Juba, South Sudan. So they'll pay you the grant to settling, to relocate to that particular area where you are going to start going. So apart from the travel, they will be able to give you certain kind of what they call the settling grant. They will provide life and health insurance, all those kind of things. They will give you a flight ticket to go and return, and also what they call the settling resettlement allowance. So when you are going back to your home country after finishing the program, there is another grant you are giving, or another amount will be given. Maybe I will talk about it exactly number, maybe 1,000, 2,000, like apart from everything. Thank you. And this will be able to adjust before you are looking for your job when you go back to your home country. So I'm going to also to give now what I call the, I'm going to give you what I call a breakdown of the volunteering entitlements, what you are going to be entitled to be given. You can read it by yourself, but it will be just like they will be able to give you the travel for, there are some of the duty stations they allow you to go with the family. That's why they say the travel of eligible primary family unit members to approved family designated duty stations. But most of them, depending on the nature of the living condition, they might not allow you if you have a family. So they give you pre-departure allowance before you travel. There is an allowance on that. They'll give you one-time made. That one will be able to cover you some of the expenses before you go to start your assignment. And they'll give you a travel flight ticket to go and return with the luggage. Usually we know that when you travel international, you'll be able to have 23 kilogram checked in luggage allowance on that particular sense. They will give you what is called the settling allowance. Settling in grant or allowance, that one is also a one-time allowance you'll be able to be given. That one, it will be able, upon arriving, it will help you to settle in that particular country. And I'll tell you how much we'll give example of that one. We'll be talking about the numbers actually. And then you'll be getting the monthly allowance. The monthly allowance can be 2,000, 1,000 US dollar, 3,000, depending on job to job. Not everyone is going to be given the same amount. This is intended to provide you with accommodation, local transportation, modesty standard of living. Remember, the modesty standard, these are Western standards. They give you the money to give the modesty standard, but trust me, it will be worthwhile when I'm going to say it that way. And also, they will give you a family allowance for those people who are having eligible family members, unit members they are going with, they'll be able to get also the family allowance. And then they will be able to get all other things which have been over there. And also, if you don't go with the family, there will be also, there is some cases, they have what they call the facilitation of home visit, depending on duration of assignment and the nature of the duty station, they can be able to do that. And also, there are also, just like normal any other job, this one you also will be having the annual leave. You will be able to get sick leave. You will be able to get maternity leave for those who will be pregnant in that particular case. Family leave, official holidays. You'll be able to have that, those kind of things. You will be able to have those insurance, social security, dental, disability insurance, emergency. Everything is going to be covered. But the other one is what is I said is resettlement allowance. So this one is when you finish and you're supposed to go back after completion. They want you to adjust it to your life when you go back. So for that particular case, they want you to go and adjust your lifestyle and be able to in general, to be able to adjust your life and to continue with your life. So we'll be able to share and talk about exactly when I'm talking about these opportunities. I will show you what are they, and we are going to talk about the numbers. So let's talk about the numbers before I go to show you where can you apply and what are these type of jobs you can be able to do. So so this is going to be the example. So if you have calculator, you can have your calculator ready and we can start doing the numbers, and that means you can be able to do. So in order to do that, we are going to take one type of job. So you have to be realistic on this particular job. So this job, let's say you are international, you are Tanzanian going to volunteer in Kenya. Remember, if you cross your border, you go to volunteer in another place, you are international volunteer. So don't bring to me, oh, this is the same East Africa. No. If you are Tanzanian going to volunteer in Uganda, Ugandan are going to volunteer in Rwanda, you are international volunteer. So this position is just like a specialist position, and it is going to Kenya to stay for 1 year contract. So if this particular job you are going to have, what type of benefits you are going to get and how much you are going to get. So this will be very, very interesting. So duration of this one is 12 months, which is 1 year contract, and you are going to be in Kenya. So basically, this type of job, the living allowance of this job is $2,616. That is a monthly allowance you'll be given. Meaning that I'm giving if you add with the family. But if just like you are going as a single, it's just $2,300 and $2,366. So tell me, apart from going for any other benefits I'm going to add, how many jobs you have a bachelor degree in Tanzania, in Kenya, in Ghana, in Nigeria, in Somalia, in Sudan? Tell me how many jobs after graduating, you have 2 years of work experience or 1 year, you are looking for a job. How many jobs will give you 2,300 or 2,500? How many jobs? How many jobs with your bachelor degree after graduating and you have just starting your career will give you $1,000? How many jobs? So I want to see yourself. This is excluding the family allowance. If you have a family, each month they give you $250. If you have a family, by family I mean spouse and children, not a family. You mean your girlfriend, no, or your boyfriend, no. And then, if when you are going settling grant, they give you one time. Let's say you are Tanzanian, you are going to Kenya, they give you the money to start to settle in. They give you $4,700. And then, if you have dependent, they also add the settling grant. If you finish, you are going back, they give also other allowance. So these are the allowance which I'm talking about. So the travel, it will be covered. Let's say you are from Ghana, you want to go to this particular opportunity in Kenya, the travel will be paid for. The shipment of your personal effects, it's one time, they will give you that one. What are you in your assignment? So when they say MLA is monthly living allowance, FA is family allowance. So the family allowance is there if you have a family. Then there is settling grant. So in the end, what you are going to get is very, very high. So end of assignment, they'll give you 2,400. Then there is repatriation. which is when you are going back, they will also pay for you to go back. As I said, the amount is differing from one to another job because these jobs are different. So that is something you needed to know about that. So this is something you needed to understand, that everything is available. So, but you might be asking, how do I apply? So if you go to this website, which is called unv.org, you'll be able to see it, and then you'll be able to find out you can volunteer abroad. That means it is international, volunteering within your country, or volunteer online. But I don't know if you want to volunteer online, but I don't know if you get paid if you volunteer online. But I'm giving example if you want to volunteer overseas. So let me go and show you if you go to volunteer to be, if you open that website, if you open the UNV website, unv.org, if you open that website, you'll be able to see become volunteer. So if you click this opportunity, if you click this place, it will give you the current opportunities which are available. The opportunities available. So it will tell you, you can filter here. I want just there is online and on-site. So let's say I want to do on-site only. So or if you want to do both, it's okay. So if you want to do both, you leave that way. It's up to you. Oh, sorry. So these are the jobs. So they will tell you if it's on-site or online. So I'm giving you an example. This one, let me open one. So this one, they tell you Peacebuilding job. It is to work with the organization name IOM. It is in Ukraine for 12 months. So they'll tell you when is the deadline. So this one is a fully funded program. They'll tell you the deadline to apply is December 15. How many people are they looking? One person, one assignment. And then they will tell you the general description, the country, when are you going to start, duration, it is on-site, number of people they are looking for is 1. And then you can read the explanation, and then the age. That's why I told you I put older person. Most of these opportunities most of these opportunities you need to be at least 25. But most again it's 25 up to 80. That's why I put the picture of an older person. And this one, they want someone who is international. Candidate must be a national of a country other than the country of assignment. So that means they need international someone to do that one, to go to be that way. Then they will tell you the language which is required. It is English. Required work experience, they will tell you 3 years of previous experience as a volunteer and or any of another culture, which I know for many people, I know. So that means can be studies, work, volunteering work, internship, all these are going to be considered. Area of expertise, driving license, they don't need to have a driving license. I will show you some of the jobs. They say you must know how to drive manual car or whatever it is. The required education level, they want you to have a master's degree in peace building. So for instance, myself, I have master's degree in peace studies and conflict resolution. Or they want someone to have political affairs, transitional justice, reconciliation, gender, whatever. All any of these one, humanitarian, all these are part of areas where you are going to do that way. Competencies are these particular things. So they tell you the living conditions in Kyiv, how is it? So you'll be in level 2, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So you have to read exactly what they mean. What do they mean with this particular condition, weak condition? They are not going to tell you how much they are going to give you as the salary and other, the benefits they are going to give you. But with this particular job, which is announced here, obviously it will be someone, Peacebuilding and gender office or whatever, will be able to have more than 2,000-3,000 per month. So for them, they don't consider as a salary because the UN salary is not this much. So that is one of example. Let me show you another example. So this is another job. Let me go. And this one is UNDP in Burkina Faso. So duration is 12 months. I'm showing you this one is on site. I'm showing different one because this one is written also in French. So they might put you they'll tell you the duration is 12 months. Deadline is December 15th. One assignment. They are going to tell you is Burkina Faso. So this one, you see, there is with a possibility of extension. So if you apply this one, there is extension, possibility of extension. But if you apply this one, it is just 12 months. There is no extension. So if you want to have one which can be extension, you know for sure what is going to happen. When you're going to start will be on January 3rd. Again, the number is 1. Place is Ouagadougou. So this one is United Nations Specialist. So this one is exactly, just let me take you back. This is exactly like when we say the United Nations Specialist. With this job description and how much you get, that one is the same as this one. So it's called the United Nations Specialist. So if you get that one, they explain you what is all about, the context. They are using most of the French. So I believe this one you must speak French. So, but this one, they say the candidate must be a national or legal resident of the country of assignment, meaning they want someone who is a citizen or legal resident of where? Of this country. So they don't, this is not international, someone to go to work with that one. So you must be from the same country. That's what they mean here. Age 27 up to 80. Experience, so you must speak French. That's why they put it in French. Is required. They don't require driving license. So another one, let's go to Rwanda. I want to give you all these. You can be able to see UNV in Rwanda is on site. Social police, public financing for children officer, where it is Rwanda, 1 assignment. Is a fully funded program up to January, that amount, deadline, that one. You'll be hosting camp organization, will be UNICEF. There is no, they didn't say extension, so there might be no possibility to start. Will be 1st March 2022. Again, this is also the UN specialist. The place where we'll be staying will be in Kigali. So this will be 1 year. You can read that one, and then you will be able to, you can read all the description and everything. Potential travels will be going where will be traveling. And then if you read, they'll be telling you, so this one, the candidates must be national of a country other than the country of assignment. So this allows people from other countries. They don't want Rwandese to apply on this one. The age is that one. So this one is required to speak English. But if you French is desirable, is not a requirement. Work experience 3 years. Driving license is not a requirement. And these are the areas they are looking for. So you see that each job has different requirement. So some of these, they are 5 months, 6 months. So this one is Madagascar. Madagascar, obviously, I believe they might put you to speak French. So I want to show you one assignment. Deadline is 16th of December. Duration is 6 months. So just even you look there, it will be the host entity is PNUD Madagascar. The expected to start date is 27th of this month. So obviously, duty station is Toliara. I don't know. The position is this one. Possibility of extension, but you will see when they talk about the national. This might be for resident of Madagascar. Language French you must speak, and that is required. But if you speak other languages, so that's how it is. So you have been able to see some of the position which are available. So I'm not interested to look about the online. I'm not focusing more about the online position. I'm just looking more about on site. But if you want to do online, I'm giving an example. For instance, this one is the online one. Usually they are shorter version. So this one is a shorter version. I usually don't look more about Colombia, Brazil. So you can go, you have to look which one. Lebanon. Online, usually they are shorter one. So if you want to look like, for instance, this one is Kuwait, liaison and policy officer with IOM. This one is to go to work with in Senegal. Human rights officer, South Sudan. Let's go and look this one, but it's 6 months. How many people are they looking? 6 people. Deadline December 15. Human rights officer, country Sudan. On site, it is 6 months with the possibility of extension. How many people? That one position will be in Bentui, Juba, and those locations. They when to start is January to start. So this one they will tell you if what they need. So the age, they need a national, so it must be Sudanese. Language is English. Required bachelor degree in this political science, law, those kind of areas. You see, this one is the requirement: driving license, manual transmission required. So you have to know that driving, some they are required. That means you'll be driving. Some are not. This is in Senegal. They posted it just 2 days ago. Deadline December 14. So this December is busy. So just apply. How many people? 1. You have to look first of all. When you open that one, duration 6 months with a possibility of extension. Position is in Dhaka. But because you see the language, they are certain Senegal they speak, they need Senegalese, and you must speak French. Age 18 to 26. No driving license. So all these you have to know when you look for these positions. Are they going to allow you? 7 days ago, this one is online to apply to become working online. So they will tell you is online 12 weeks. Number of assignments, they're looking for 3 people. Number of assignment, 3 people. So you'll be able to see what kind of things they are looking at. The language is English. Required experience, they tell you what they need. So if right now you want to increase your chances, like, okay, you can apply both. So this one is a dentist. So obviously you have to be a dentist. You cannot just apply to be a dentist while you have never been a dentist before. UNHCR, this one is Ukraine, but you must, how it is. So let me give an example. Another. So you can be able to look. This one is in Kenya. Okay, so for people, let me look that one for Kenya. This one is another Kenya. You'll be able to see with UNDP. Okay. So let's do these two for Kenya. So this one is environmental affairs assistant. How long is 12 months? When 3 days ago was posted. How many assignment is one? Deadline is this one. So just go, if you want, just you come here to look. Candidates must be a national or legal resident. So this is for Kenyan. Age, this one. Okay. What is the type? When to start the job? February 1st. 12 months, no extension. So the position is this one. The duty station will be in Nairobi. So you can read it and see if you qualify. They need master's degree for this particular one. So you can be able to read and see. Most of these jobs, they require, they will be require, most of the countries, depending on the host entity, the requirement. Some of the countries, they require you to have vaccine. This one is program support officer in Kenya. Deadline is December 13th. One. But if you look here, number of appointments is one. Peace, justice, and strong institutions. Candidates must be in a national of a country other than the country of assignment. So this is international. Age, that amount, that is the age. For me, for instance, this one, I qualify 100%. I'm not going to apply. So bachelor's degree, law, political science, international relations, peace and conflict resolution, all these kind of things. Desirable, if you have master's, is added advantage, which I have. I'm not going to apply. They don't need driving license. Other things they need are this one. Positions in Kenya. This one is in Nairobi. So yeah, so that is something expected start date is that one. So if you read this one, they will tell you exactly what they are looking at. So if you go to look, if you look for this position, the nature of experiences and all this kind of what this person will be able to be doing, this is a higher position. It's different from the job, just like it's different from the job. It's different from this one. Let me give you an example. This is different from the specialist. Specialist is not, this one is higher specialized. So if this one is more specialized, it will pay more than 2,000, 3,000 to be 4,000 maybe. So it is almost, so people can be able to apply. So when I say people apply for opportunities, don't just focus on the opportunities in your country. There are so many opportunities outside your country. This is what I want you to understand. So I'm going to post this one. Also, I'll post it like this, the one for international. I'll post on the description of the comment. I'll post like a program in Kenya, blah, 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 blah. I'll post all these positions. You can be able to apply directly for yourself to be able to see these opportunities. Yeah, so it's up to you to make sure that you go and take these opportunities. For instance, this one is in Uganda. Let's go for the one in Uganda. We'll see. Humanitarian development and the peace nexus. Deadline December 15th. Uganda. They haven't said there is extension, possibility of extension, but it's 12-month program to start 1st of March. Places Uganda. This one is a specialist position. You can read what they are looking at. And then candidates is international person. Age is that one. You must speak English. You must have bachelor degree in either of these one. 3 years of work experience in those particular areas. So just apply all these positions. Most of this deadline is December 15. So do you want also to change the world? Do you want also to be part of people who can be able to make the world a better place. That is something you needed to be there. You must be there to make sure that you are part of protecting the world. You make the world is better. You have to make sure that you are becoming international. All these opportunities will be able to help you in a great deal. So make sure you become a United Nations volunteer. Make sure you share with another person. Make sure you go abroad, you get paid, you advance your career. So don't just apply for jobs, look for jobs only in your country. There are jobs everywhere. Treat this one volunteering as a job, because you can get 1 year contract and then extend it to 3 years, maximum 4 years, and get paid well. Once you have the job, once you have this type of job, it will be easier for you to go and find the UN jobs, because you will be having already the work experience with the United Nations. And how do you get the UN jobs? How do you get the UN jobs? It's very easy. Go to the unjobs.org. You can search a job based on the duty station. For instance, you are looking for a job in Uganda, Gulu, Uganda. So you click Uganda, it will tell you what position they are there. I'll put the link also for you to look for UN jobs. So even despite of volunteering, you can apply for jobs to go anywhere, different countries. So even if people want, oh, I want to go to America, New York. There are so many jobs in New York, especially for people with master's degree. You can apply all these jobs. You can come to UN as a UN staff. I know there are some people who are looking for jobs. Maybe, okay, I want to go to Canada. So let's go find Toronto. I'm giving example if he's there. RST Toronto. I'm giving example. I want to go to Canada. Okay, Toronto, Canada. They have 90 positions in Canada. Project manager, water program. So just apply for these jobs. If you get it, you can go. You get the job, you go to work in Canada. And you go to work with the United Nations. That you don't need to worry anything. So these are different ways for you to excel in your career instead of just focusing in one country only. So that's what I want you to be able to focus on those opportunities. You can be able to choose whether to volunteer online, but I don't think online will be able to get paid, but volunteering, yeah. So if you have any question, please let me know. But remember, few things. Share to someone. This is very, very important. Make sure you tag someone if you are on Instagram. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, on the EBM Signature and the EBM Scholars. Instagram, follow me on Twitter, Ernest_Makulilo. Make sure you go and subscribe to youtube.com/EBM Scholars for more opportunities if you haven't done so. Apart from that, I wish you all the best. For more opportunities, we'll be able to share all these opportunities for you to be able to become UN volunteer, to get jobs, to get scholarships, anything. Remember, EBM Scholars is the headquarters of opportunities and excellence. Goodbye, everyone. And until next time, this is EBM talking to you from United States.